Hits by the pound.
Yeah, this is how we do it in the Central Coast, man. We got 40 ounces, Old English, rag tops, 6'4" Impalas, and bikini girls, man. This is how we do it on the West Coast. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But don't forget about the Central Cali, man. Please don't forget about the Central Cali. Yeah, get 'em.
It's another sunny day in the state of California. Low rider palm trees and G's that put it on ya. This ain't a negative, we speaking ebonics. Rank talk, candy paint on D's with hydraulics. Baseball hat with the sticker on the brim. Don't let the shine blind your sight, cause things can get grim. But I'm not here to talk about banana clips and guns. We're going back to Cali and we're gonna have some fun. A West Coast domination.
And welcome back to Two-Face Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Fred Segura, out here in Monterey County, also known to the world as the Salad Bowl, also known as the Salinas Valley. To the people in LA, we are north. To the people in San Francisco, we are south. Right smack in the middle, best of both worlds. Don't forget about the Central Cali. Anyway, folks, today we're talking about the film Flamin' Hot. Yes, the story of Richard Montañez, who, is it right? Invented? Came up with the idea, invented, yeah, right? The hot Cheetos, which has been a trend in throughout everywhere, really, right? But Richard Montañez, played beautifully by Jesse Garcia in the film. I believe he did an excellent job. The story, without trying to give spoilers away for those of you who haven't seen it, it's a timeline film. It starts from, from the 70s, I believe, up until like current or not, up until the 90s, something like that. But anyhow, what really intrigued me about that film was the struggle that Richard had gone through, which is something that we are all familiar with, and it's again, it's something that people are ashamed to look back on, and nobody wants to admit. We'll say, oh, you know nothing about the struggle, but we don't really, want to show that side, but we know about it. Anyhow, yeah, I mean, we're talking about at times when, shopping at Payless shoe stores, it was just a regular thing. It didn't mean you were broke. Now it's more of an image thing in today's world. But anyhow, the film, I think, displayed a very, very beautifully perspective of what it's like to be, not just being raised or brought up in the hood or whatever you want to call it, the ghetto or whatever. I mean, struggles are everywhere, unless, of course, you are, rich or whatever like that, right? But for the most part, the regular folks, it's, they go through it, man. We've all gone through it. Not they, we go through it. I could relate to some of that stuff, early on from what they went through, and it's touching to see that, and it's very humbling to see that the film carried itself in that sense, and that they would actually go there. I kind of think that they kind of got through it pretty quick, but I understand it's due to a film and due to time. You got to cut through it, but it also shows, them having the power cut off, the kids not understanding, the children not understanding what certain derogatory, insulting words towards them, what they really mean. We lived in a different time. Also, I also want to mention another thing too that has a very small part, another actor in there, legend actor, who's been in films like The Jerk and American Me and a lot of films. Shout out to Pepe Serna. I wasn't expecting to see him in there, but he played the grandpa, and that was awesome. It was a small part, Montañez, and when you follow film and movies like I do, you see people like that, and Did I mention he was also in the movie The Jerk? I did say that was the first one I said, right? But anyhow, uh, you know what? The film Flamin' Hot really, it really said a lot about. I'll say it like this, just because I could relate to it on in a certain sense, but it's understandable because when you're working at a place, and I speak from experience, when you're working somewhere, sometimes the engineer or the higher ups, if you will, or don't talk to them, or they'll talk to you like, or they say they won't talk to you, but if they have to talk to you, they will. But they're kind of belittling you. You know, a lot of companies do say, "Oh, well, the grunt worker is the heart of the company," but a lot of them don't go by that standard. You know, shout out to the actor and the guy in the film. I forget the guy's name. The main head honcho guy. He really was a people person, where it was pretty evident the rest of them weren't. But back to what I'm getting at was when Richard is custodian or a janitor, you know, janitor or whatever technician now that we like to put it because we want to change the word because it sounds better, but it ends up being you're just what you are, you know, whatever position you are. But anyhow, you add the word technician and it just sounds a lot better. Anyhow, he's he's told by his coworkers like, "Hey, don't talk to that person. Hey, you can't be talking to him. Hey, you can't be sitting over there." You know, it's and it happens, guys. It really happens in employments. You know, in jobs where you don't sit over there with those people. All those people are the pencil pushers, or the white collar, and I'm a blue collar worker, and yada yada yada. Um, it's pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad when you see that. Sometimes there's people who probably a grunt worker who has an excellent idea of how to do something, and he's ignored because of his position. In the case of Richard Montaner, that wasn't the case, but he was for a little bit. I mean, your coworkers, your friends, and whoever are gonna push you to the side, like, "Hey, bro, like, don't, bro, like they ain't trying to hear you. They're not trying to hear you," and oftentimes that is very true. But at the same time, I think that sometimes people people don't stand up sometimes and just kind of continue to push, such as in this story, that he continued. He didn't care. He would befriend somebody that he was told not to talk to, somebody that was higher up, an engineer and whatever. He continued because he believed, and he just a guy who was working and wanted to do more. He felt he had more in him than just being a custodian. Not that it's anything bad, but he had a drive, man. He had something he was trying to do, and I think it's a beautiful story. To be honest with you, it really surpassed my expectations, my family's expectations on how good it was. I mean, this is not a movie review channel, but I had to come in and talk about it because it was it's a beautiful film, and I'll tell you why. Because because it's from the heart. It shows a lot. It's not per se. The Hispanic community is not portrayed in there as a stereotype. It simply is what it is. Stuff like that happens in the hood or whatever, if you will, right? It was more of a reality kind of look into it. At the same time, what I really, really, really enjoy, opposed to a lot of movies today, that the movie did not have an agenda, trying to push anything on you, like, and trying. No, it was just simply a beautiful, well told story. I think that from the script to the screen, it was brought across correctly, and I hope that Eva Mendes, no, Eva Longoria, I'm sorry, Eva Longoria, I'm pretty sure she caught on film what she wanted to transpire off the script. So yeah, shout out to Eva Longoria. Great job on the film. Uh, I mean, yeah, guys. Again, it's not. I guess it is a review, right? It's not. It's not meant to be a review, but anyhow, yeah. I just really think it was great, man. That's it. Really, I got nothing more to say to that, other than I think I think a lot of people should actually, a lot of people should really watch this. It should be more than a cult followed film. It should really be embraced by a lot of people. And I don't care about your color, creed, or anything like that. You know what I mean? Or race or anything like that. That got nothing to do with it, man. Enjoy the film for what it is. We all struggle regardless of our nationality or whatever it is, guys. We all go through it. It's a rags to riches story. Uh, again, beautifully told. And man, I I really shouldn't, because I'm trying to do something a little different here, but I might end up getting me some flaming hot Cheetos and sit down and watch it again. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyways, guys, with that, man, I just, go out and watch the film, man. Go out and watch the film. Watch it with an open mind. Again, enjoy it for what it is. And that's it. With that being said, this is Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Fred Segura, signing out.